Hey guys, Sam from Manfa's Makes. How are you all? Welcome back to all my returners and hi to any newbies. It is so great to have you here. Please do stick around a while, and if you like what you see, give me a thumbie. They are free, so you will be seeing this on Friday. And here at Manfa's Makes, every Friday, I give you a crochet catch up. Now, normally Mike would be sat here with me and he would fill you in on what he has been up to this week. But unfortunately, there has not been a lot of crocheting time for Mike this week. He has had some early starts at work, he has had some very tired evenings, and he has also been enjoying some quality time with my youngest Max, staring at the sky through a telescope, looking at space. So I'm sure you can imagine family time comes first. So he is not here today. He doesn't really have a lot to show. However, he did manage to finally do Tile of the Week Thursday. If you haven't seen that video, that was yesterday's video. Please do pop over and have a look. It might be a little entertaining for some of you. Anyway, let's get back to the scheduled program of today. Now, I have got some to show you, but again, not a lot. However, it has been a return to work week for me this week, so I haven't had as much time as I did last week because last week I had the week off. Anywho, I am going to show you the most exciting thing for me first. So, if you have been here a little while, you will know that I have been working on Fuyuko, the kitsune, for the lovely Genie. Genie, if you are watching, hi sweetheart. She was the lucky winner of being able to pick whatever pattern she wanted from this book here. This is Unicorns, Dragons and More Fantasy Amigurumi 3. Now, this is not going to be widely available to a lot of you until September, but I was lucky to score a pre-launch copy over at amigurumi.com a little while ago. So a lot of you will not have this book, and the super lucky Genie won the opportunity to pick whatever creature she wanted that I would make for her and send to her when complete. Now, Genie, first and foremost, thank you so much for your patience. There has been a lot go on over the last few weeks. I have maybe overcommitted myself to a couple of things, but that's okay. And also I have had childcare things because the kids have been off school, but I've still needed to go to work. Then my car exploded, so there was all of that stress. And there has been a couple of other hiccups along the way. However, Genie picked this beautiful creature here. This is Fuyuko. It is a 9-tailed celestial fox or a kitsune. And she has been so gracious and so patient in the making of this amigurumi for her. Now, the yarn I have been using is Stylecraft Special Double Knit. And this one is in the shade Soft Peach, but it is slightly more pinky than it is peach, as Genie told me that her favourite colours are pink, light blue and rainbow. The other yarn I have been using is the Sweet Dreams Double Knit by Stylecraft. This is in the colour Unicorn. They are both lightweight 3 yarns, guys. This is what I have left. And Genie, I will be popping this leftover yarn in with your parcel so that you can either keep it as mementos or you can use this for another project that you would like, because it is UK yarn. And I have been using my 2.5mm clover hook. When my camera would like to focus. There we go, 2.5mm. It is quite an itty bitty, as you can see. And the last time you saw it is I had all of the parts and it was all sewn together apart from the tails. Now, Genie, are you ready? Because finally I have managed to complete him for you. Him, her, I don't quite know, whatever you decide. Now, Genie, when you receive this little lovely, please bear in mind that sewing is not my strong suit. I have done my absolute best, but it is a little bit ropey in places, but I am sure that he or she will be sat and displayed, and unless you look closely, you are not going to notice some of the questionable sewing. So all 9 tails were completed, they just needed sewing on. And here it is, guys. It's done. All 9 tails. Present and accounted for. Now, you are going to have to take my word for it, but it does sit unaided on a flat surface. And it is ready to be shipped off to the beautiful Genie. Now, Genie has also requested some of the tiles that Mike and I have been making in Tile of the Week. So Genie, you will finally get your amigurumi, you will get the leftover yarn, and you will get the tiles you requested as well. There will also be a personal little note and sticker, and if I can find anything else to cram in there, I will. So you will be seeing this on Friday. I likely won't get to the post office until next Monday. But as soon as I have gone to the post office, sweetheart, I will send you an email with the tracking number, and hopefully he will be in his forever home with you very, very soon. I have noticed that sometimes my packages to the US can take a week, but sometimes they can take up to 3. So I don't know exactly when he will arrive at your house, but he will be arriving soon. So there it is, guys, all completed, all sewn on. And I am very, very proud of it, and I am also very relieved to get it off my hook. It has been a privilege making it for you, Genie, and I hope you enjoy it when it finally reaches you. So there is an FO, guys. Super, super excited about that. Actually, I might actually show you that it can sit on a flat surface. Now the camera's going to move, so if you get motion sick, look away. But here we go. Sat on my table, completely unaided, unhelped. Absolutely fine. So there we go, guys. Proof is in the pudding. So there we go. That is finally the completed giveaway amigurumi. So I will get that in the post as soon as possible. So Genie, it will be in your hands very, very soon. Okay, so there is that one. Now, you may also be aware that I am testing a pattern for one of my other lovely friends here on YouTube, and she is Amanda, also known as the Obsessive Crochet Lady. Now, I will leave Amanda's link down in the description box. If you are not familiar with Amanda, please do go and check her out. Chuck some yarn in her window, which means subscribe, and watch a few of her videos, guys. She really, really would love her channel to grow. She has, in the last week or so, hit her 500 mark. Congratulations again, Panda. I call her Panda. And she already has one pattern released and available on Ravelry. So I will link down below her Ravelry shop where you can find her other pattern, which is the Feelin' Fancy shawl, which you may also know that Mike and I have previously made. You can get your hands on that lovely pattern. And as soon as I get my bottoming gear and everything is finalised, Panda will be able to release this pattern. Now this pattern she is calling the Spin Me Around Granny. I am using my beautiful yarn bowl. And I am currently trying to work hard at it so that you guys will be able to get your hands on the pattern soon. Now for this blanket I am using the Elements Panoramic DK. Now this is only available on the Knitting Network, which is a company here in the UK. They do ship worldwide though, guys. So I will link the Knitting Network down in the description box. This is 100 grams, approximately 300 meters or 328 yards, 60% acrylic, 40% cotton, made in Turkey. Machine washable up to 40 degrees Celsius, cool iron, don't tumble, don't bleach, and it is in the colour 007 Prism. I have used one full ball and I am on my second, and I am about to start row 23. Now I am using a 5mm crochet hook. I am about halfway through the pattern now. I have gone past the halfway point. However, because I crochet super tightly, I maybe should have gone up even more than this. So just keep that in mind, guys, because Panda redid this and hers was 40 inches at row 35. I'm about to start row 23 and I am only just half the recommended or the finished blanket size, because this is going to be a twofer, guys. I am going to be shipping this off to Nancy at She's Got Yarn 2 when it is completed, for the precious kiddos that go to the Boggy Creek camp over there in Florida. It is a camp for super sick children that wouldn't normally get the opportunity to go and stay at a camp, and it is more than equipped to deal with some of these chronic illnesses. Even kiddies on ventilators can go swimming, guys. It is amazing. It is staffed by specialist doctors and nurses. They have all the equipment and medications they need for these children. And when they stay there, they get their own bunk in a dorm with a handmade blanket on it. And when they leave, they get to take these blankets home. So hopefully this is going to be one of those keepsake blankets. Now I am partway through a row, so bear with, and I am still attached. But this is what the Spin Me Round the Granny is looking like so far. I am just over the 20-inch mark. Now the edges do curl, but when I put the border on, it will be absolutely fine. It will stabilize, and as you can see, oh, wrong way around, left is right down. Where this dark blue stitch marker was where I showed you last week. So I have managed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, only 5 rows this week, Panda. So sorry, but I have lots of other bits and pieces and work outside the home and 4 kiddos and life and meh. But there we go. That is the Spin Me Around the Granny. It is so super textured. Look, guys, can you see that? It is absolutely stunning. And actually, the variegated is growing on me. So that will be for one of the children that attend Boggy Creek Camp. If you don't know Nancy and this blanket drive, please head over to her channel and check it out. It is a very worthwhile cause, and if you have got any blankets that you can send, they will be very, very appreciative. They are collecting blankets now until the end of the year, and then next year she will hand deliver them to Boggy Creek Camp. I believe they have to be 35 to 40 inches wide and 40 to 50 inches long. But please do go and check Nancy's channel for the absolute definite measurements, because I might not have them completely correct. So hopefully I can get lots more done on this blanket in this next coming week, now that I have the amigurumi done. Because I would like to send more than one blanket to Nancy, and I would like Panda to get my feedback on her pattern so that she can get it tweaked and finalised and ready for purchase. So, like I said, anyone I have mentioned I will link down below. Please go and check them out. They are awesome, awesome people, and I feel privileged that Panda asked me to test. So there we have it. That's the Spin Me Around the Granny. Now, finally, the last thing I have to share with you this week and to show is completed blankets for Boggy Creek Camp can go to She's Got Yarn 2 Nancy, as I've just discussed. Now, There is another special lady here on YouTube that is wanting to do her part for this camp as well. She also lives in Florida, and she has been lucky enough to meet up with Nancy a few times now, and they are quite good friends. Now, she has completely blown it out the water this year, guys, because last year they collected 360 plus blankets, which was amazing. Now, obviously, they want to beat that this year. Whenever a marker has been set, we always want to beat it, right? Well, it's not going to be possible for everybody to send blankets. Shipping is ridiculous, and obviously blankets are going to be quite weighty and quite bulky to ship. So if you are watching, wishing that you could send a blanket but you cannot, this segment of today's Crochet Catch Up might be just the thing you need to hear. Now, I am talking about the beautiful Linan over at Nina's Knots Crochet. I will link her down in the description box as well. She is fabulous. Go and do all the things for her as well, guys. She has said that shipping is ridiculous and we're not all going to be able to send blankets, and that is such a valid point. So she has opened up her PO box so that we, everybody, content creator or not, can send her 5" by 5" granny squares. She does not like making the granny squares, but she is quite happy to join those squares together. Now, I'm the opposite. I can make squares until the cows come home, guys. Love it. But when it comes to putting them together, I loathe that bit of the process. So this ticks all the boxes. You may already have some squares lying around that don't have a purpose, don't have an end goal. You might have some scraps that you want to quickly whip up and get rid of. You may just want to pull out some of the yarn that you've been keeping for a special project and whip up some granny squares as well. Linan is asking that you use a 4-weight yarn and that they are 5" by 5", as she will then put a border on them and join them together. She is also asking you to be super vigilant when it comes into weaving your ends. They need to be woven in really well, guys, and they need to be square to make the construction of the blanket as easy as possible on Linan as possible. I still don't think Linan has any idea what she has set herself up for, because I can see that she will soon be drowning in squares and thinking, why did I offer to do this? But she is such a warm, lovely, kind-hearted person that she is going to do it for each and every one of us. And because she can drive over to Nancy and give those blankets to her, there are no shipping costs to Linan either. So it ticks a lot of boxes, and it means that if you watching can't send a full blanket but still want to take part, you can. Even if it's just one granny square, guys, even if it's just a couple, 1, 5, 10, 100, whatever you want to send to Linan, because one granny square would just be the cost of a stamp in an envelope, or maybe a small bubble mailer for the cost of a cup of coffee. We are all able to do that if we can, and I would implore you to do so, because the more squares that Linan gets, the more blankets she can put together and deliver to those very deserving kiddos over at Boggy Creek. Now, last week you will have heard and you will have seen that I actually made some squares, but I took it a bit further, guys. Now, I'll recap on the squares from last time, and then I'll show you what I've been up to this week. Okay, so last time, I can't remember how many I got up to. I think I got up to 12, and I predicted I would get 15. Now, I actually got 16. I got 8 of each different variant of the pattern. This is the 2-colour granny square, and I did it this way, and I got 8 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. And then the other way, I got another 8 of those, which got me to 16. However, I did have a smidgy bit of the yarn left, so I just used the yarn until it was all gone. I managed to get a full one out of this yarn, so that makes, and it's just the traditional granny, so that makes 17. and then the little bit of white in the middle and the rest of the other yarn around the outside in a traditional granny makes 18. So I managed to get 18 out of the yarn I was using last week. For those, I was using my 4.5mm hook, and I used Hobie Kind Feather and ABC Yarns Little Explorer. Now this week, guys, I have been using my 5mm hook because I pulled out of my stash a Karen Simply Soft. It was the only one I had in this colour. The colour is Grape, which is the purple. And with the purple, and I haven't sewn my ends in yet, that was another thing I hadn't done on these. But I sewn in all those ends, some on my live last week and some after the live backstage talking to the girls. This week with the Karen Simply Soft, I've got this much left, and I did try and squeeze another square out of it, but I was one side of a square short, which was slightly frustrating. But this will go in my scrap bin, it won't get wasted. And actually the other yarn, that was all I had from both. Not a lot to do anything with. This will just go in the bin. So how many purple ones did I get done? Well, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 18 last time, 12 this time. That means I already have 30 squares to send to Lenan for her to put a border on, join them together in a blanket, and a contribution. Now with the Karen Simply Soft, I just did the traditional granny square. I managed to get 12. I will sew these ends in tomorrow on my live, and they will be ready to be shipped. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a different yarn this week, see how many squares I can get out of that yarn, and then out of the third yarn I will put them all together, stuff them in a little mailer, get them to Lenan so that the first 3 weeks she has got, and I'm going to keep doing this every week until the closing date. Now she is accepting these squares from now until the end of November, I believe, so there is still plenty of time to whip up a few granny squares, guys, and get them sent to Lenan. I will of course put Lenan's channel down in the description box. Her PO box is in the description box of every one of her videos, I believe, so do get her address or send her an email. Her email address is in her description box as well, guys. Any questions, I will try and help answer. If not, I will direct you to Lenan herself, or I can email Lenan on your behalf, and between us we will get any questions answered, and we will get as many of these squares to her as we can. So Lenan, 1 more week of square making and the first parcel from Manfa will be on its way, and I am so super excited about that. So that, guys, basically is it for this week. So I got my squares, now a total of 30. I got the amigurumi finished, and I got a few more rows done on Amanda's test pattern, and tile of the week done this week. So that isn't too shabby. Can I beat it next week, I wonder? I don't know. You're going to have to tune in next week to find out. But guys, as always, I thank you for your time. I thank you for being here. I really do appreciate all the love and support you give us. Hopefully Mike will be joining me next week for Crochet Catch Up, because hopefully he will get some crochet time in. He does have next week off of work, so you never know, he might squeeze in a little more crochet time next week. Fingers crossed. Please do come to our live tomorrow night, 4 PM Eastern, straight after Granny D. As always, it's going to be a joy to have you there. We always have some fun, and I will be weaving in the ends on those squares while I chat to you all. Please remember, there is daily content here at Manfa's Makes. Tomorrow there is a little bit of happy mail that I would like to share with you, so please do click on for that. And past that point, guys, I do not know what's coming, but there is something every single day. So until I see you again, Stay safe, be kind, look after one another, get some good quality time in with your loved ones, and get some good quality crafting time in. I will see you in the next one or around the YouTube streets. Bye guys, love you.